everyone, and welcome to Close Up on America's Business. I'm Michael Nader. This is the television news magazine that goes behind the scenes of the most successful businesses across America. We meet and talk with many of the most innovative business leaders in the country today and learn how new technologies are changing the world around us and in the ways in which we do business. You are about to see one of the most interesting and informative segments we've had the pleasure of presenting on this show. It spotlights a company that is one of the most outstanding in its field, a company that impressed us as being one of the very best.
Here's a question for you. Suppose you're a fairly large company and you have a shipment of sensitive, delicate electronic equipment, such as computers, that you need to have transported across the country and you can't afford to have it damaged. Who do you turn to? Well, as you know, the big overnight delivery services, whose names we all know, are not always the answer, because with their hub and spoke delivery system, they can't always guarantee safe delivery. But there is one company headquartered here in New York City that specializes in shipments of this nature. They go to extraordinary lengths to provide a service that is second to none. The company is called GOexpress, and their business among the Fortune 500 giants is booming. And once you've visited their operation and talked to their executives, it's easy to understand why. We spent a considerable amount of time with the company's president, Vincent Malerba, and the CEO, Irina Constantine.
GOexpress, Doug, is a full-service local, domestic, and international air courier. And by saying that, there's a lot of tentacles that go out in that forum. But primarily, we're in the business of delivering packages in an expeditious way to and from our clients' addresses.
Talk to me a little bit about the time involved of getting a sample shipment, for example, from point A to point B.
Let's say X company calls us in Boston to make a pickup going to Washington, D.C. We have affiliate companies and representatives in every major market in the United States. We then electronically dispatch the order to them. If it requires packing material, that packing material is housed at that location so we can deploy a man within a matter of hours. Most moves are pre-scheduled days or weeks in advance, but we have the capacity to do it immediately if need be. Once the pickup is made, then it is transferred to an airline on our airline account. An alert is sent, is fed into our computer system that alerts us that it's made the flight and when the flight has landed. Prior to the flight landing in Washington, we will notify the agent who will retrieve the package and then ship it to the final destination.
How can you be so sure that your shipment is going to arrive at its destination safe?
We palletize all of our shipments, and when it's a small shipment that doesn't need palletization, what we do is by using a commercial aircraft, everything has to be put into a container to board the aircraft. That means it remains flat, put into a container with a non-top fragile marking onto the box, and then is shipped to the next location. This avoids any of the tumbling or conveyor belt experience that the package might have, again, which is not friendly. We monitor very closely the weather and airline traffic that is sent to us electronically, knowing that flights are on schedule. But again, we are of the same nature as the integrated guys that have their own fleets, because they are subject to the same inclement weather and other weather conditions and restrictions under today's heightened security rules that might affect sometimes the delays in flights taking off and being received into an airport.
Obviously, one of the keys to your success, I would think, is what you charge. I mean, you do a great service. Are you expensive?
I think in today's market, we're priced right. And as the company's buzzwords today is sized right and somewhat of the employment downturn that we see, I think we have no other option but to be priced right. And why we are priced right is for one very big reason. The layer of administrative costs to operate your own fleet, fuel consumption, management, maintenance, is inherited to the price that you pay for your deliveries. Where we eliminate in our business model a lot of those costs and we pass that on to the customer. This is a premium package, which entails a 2-inch foam, several pieces in inch box, triple ply corrugated carton 275 test. This next one would be a server, which would be for a rack mount system that would go into a similar type box, similar type setup. This type of packing is more cost effective for non-insurable items. And in here you'll see that we pack on this one skid up to 40 CPUs. Just to give you an idea, each layer has 6 CPUs laid with cardboard, then bubble wrap, and then it is shrink wrapped and banded 4 ways, which gives it a very good transportation mode, not to have damage done to any of the computers. Again, this is more cost efficient, but we cannot ensure unpackaged merchandise. This is the sticker that is attached to the package or box in this case, that gives the customer the airway bill number, the product inside. It's a 1 of 1 lot, a CPU, and the serial number. So when they arrive at their location, they can easily just scan in the work order number or air bill number and the serial number and place it immediately into inventory till it's redeployed, or at which time they might want to open the box and just have this as an asset management tool for inventory. They can scan it into their system.
This is a quick walkthrough of our tracking page for our customers. We log on to our website, put in the air bill number, and here we get the status of each shipment from when the order is received and entered into our system and the appointment is made. Any kind of attempts or other information, and then the pickup is made, delivered to the customer, and the POD is posted onto our website along with the serial number and product description.
My history isn't as long as Vinny's, but I do have several years of experience in this industry. I started out about 7 or 8 years ago just doing sales, and got to really know my clients, their needs, listen to what they were asking for, and brought that back as a salesperson to the companies that I worked for and tried to develop answers for those problems. So I've been in this industry for 7 or 8 years, but that's dog years.
How did you make the decision and know that what you were providing here at GOexpress was something that was really needed?
It's really interesting because going out there in the field and on my client sites, I saw what they were doing. And it just didn't make a great amount of sense, and it caused many problems along the way. With the IT equipment, for instance, I would see my clients calling in their moving companies or having the mailroom try to put together some kind of packing materials to ship their computers around. They would use newspapers sometimes to package this equipment that cost thousands of dollars. Then they would call in, let's say, a messenger company or a freight forwarder to take the equipment to its final destination. And what ultimately happened is, God forbid there was a problem along the way, because that's when the fingers started pointing. The movers would point the fingers at the shipping company, and the shipping company at the movers. So nobody took accountability for this equipment that was damaged. So, we kind of developed this with our clients. We saw the need for them, and we said, you know what, we can do this. We can take the best qualities of a moving company, a messenger company, a freight forwarding company, and even a logistics company, and put them all together as this wonderful service that answers the question end to end of how do I move my computer equipment. This is something that nobody wants to touch because they're afraid of it, and we know how to do it, and we do it really, really well. So we're called upon again and again to do it for large corporations. Very large corporations use us.
What has been the reaction you've gotten from your clients to your services?
Phenomenal. The reaction is unprecedented, really. Normally you go out there and you're trying to sell a product that's very similar to many other companies. This is something unlike anybody else's. There's nobody out there that does this the way that we do it. So once they hear that this is available, because most people don't even know that it exists, they open the doors wide open, and as soon as they start using us, they see the quality of service. We deliver exactly what we promised we're going to deliver, and we just create a great rapport that just, he helps us to grow within those companies. Once the trust is earned, we keep expanding.
How did you come up with the idea and actually go to the extent of listing the serial numbers of the various electronic items that you're shipping on the packages where they can't be seen and on the shipping waybills?
A lot of very large corporations, the enterprise level clients, they have a massive amount of equipment out there, and it's not in just one location. It's multiple branches, multiple cities, multiple countries. And this equipment sometimes, although they go to great lengths to asset tag and so forth, it sometimes gets lost, believe it or not, or ends up where they didn't know that it was. So by taking the serial numbers down and logging them on our internet site where everybody can look it up, or it's actually password protected, so where the user can look it up and see where that asset was moved from, to, dates, and it stays on there forever. So if they're looking to do reports, or if they're looking to track a specific item, they can do that easily off of our website. This is, again, something that you just don't get from a normal carrier. We made this because we saw that they needed it. They told us that they needed it. We actually can't take perfect credit for developing this. They developed it with us. Our clients told us what they needed. They said, we asked them, what is your ideal world? In an ideal world, what would you have happen? And this is kind of the end product of that wish list.
What kind of clients does GOexpress service? Who are your customers?
We have wonderful clients. They span the spectrum from large financial firms, which are the bulk of our business, large entertainment firms, information providers, and actually some technical companies as well.
But many of these, we're talking about, obviously, Fortune 500 companies.
Mostly Fortune 500 companies. We certainly don't look down on the little guy, of course, because that's very important. But we just tend to be used a lot by the Fortune 500 companies. It's hard to get across to everybody. They have a smaller network. They tell each other about us, and we get referred into many of the companies that we go into. But they are the elite of the elite.
You know, it's really interesting. Listening to you talk about this company, I can't help but wonder, do you think you have any competition?
Not really. To tell you the truth, not for this specific type of work that we do. There's just nobody that does it as well as we do it, to the detail that we do it, as consistently as we do it, and certainly not as cost effectively as we do it.
The remarkable success story of a truly extraordinary company, GOexpress. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting from New York.
Thank you for joining us on this special edition of Close Up on America's Business.